Hello there and welcome back to my second channel. Welcome back to Jack in the Books and welcome to Book Mail. I've received these books in the post over the past week, I think, and so I thought I would show you what they are. First and foremost, this is You Are a Global Citizen by Damon Dominique. We love Damon. Damon has the most amazing YouTube channel, which I found so inspiring, and it's been really nice to get to know him over the past year and get to see all of the behind the scenes of him creating this wonderful book. This is basically like a companion piece and a travel guide to the world. It's a way of looking at the world differently, and I know that he's poured his heart and soul into this. So, how has your culture shaped you? Would you be different if you were born in another country? No matter where you are a global citizen. Whether you've been around the world, are planning to live or travel abroad, or have never left home but are simply eager to explore your own identity within a global society, You Are a Global Citizen is a guided journal designed to help you better understand the world by first exploring your own cultural influences and experiences. Through fun, philosophical and provocative questions, such as how would you feel if you had to live the rest of your life in your hometown, do you think there should be a global language, and could you date someone with opposing political views, you will peel back the cultural layers that define you in order to become a more inquisitive, aware, and observant global citizen. It's filled with these wonderful insights from Damon and then these prompts that you can fill out yourself. I think it's such a cool idea. I think it's such a great way of like distilling Damon's amazing YouTube channel into a book, and I can't wait to fill this out. Next, we have I Went to See My Father. This is by Kyung-Suk Shin and translated by the incredible and incomparable Anton Her. He is a wonderful translator, and this is the description of the book. 2 years after losing her daughter in a tragic accident, Hon finally returns to her home in the countryside to take care of her father. At first, her father only appears withdrawn and fragile, an aging man, awkward but kind around his own daughter. Then, after stumbling upon a chest of letters, Hon discovers the truth of her father's past and reconstructs her family history. Consumed with her own grief, Hon has been blind to her father's vulnerability and her family's fragility. Unraveling secret after secret, Hon grows closer to her father, who proves to be more complex than she ever gave him credit for. After living through one of the most tumultuous times in Korean history, her father's life spiraled after the Civil War. Now, after years of emotional isolation, Hon learns the whole truth. From her father's affair and involvement in a religious sect, to the dynamic lives of her siblings, to her family's financial hardships. What Hon uncovers about her father builds towards her understanding of the great scope of his sacrifice and heroism, and of her generation. More than just the portrait of a single man, I Went to See My Father opens a window onto humankind, family, loss, and war. How brilliant does that sound? I am absolutely buzzing to read this, and I am actually going to Korea at the end of March, and I want to bring lots of Korean books with me and basically spend my time in Korea consuming wonderful Korean literature, so this is absolutely coming with me on that trip. Now, the rest of these books are all from Fourth Estate. I love Fourth Estate. They are such a great team, and I got to go to their offices for an event called Fourth Estate Live, where they basically had lots of their authors who have written books that are coming out this year, and they were sharing their work and talking about it, and it was so insightful, so fascinating. I love getting to hear authors speak, and these are the books that they sent me afterwards, because these are the ones that kind of caught my eye. So, the first book is The List, and it's just been announced that this is going to be turned into a movie or a TV show, one of the two, but either way, when they were talking about this book, I was like, I need that to be turned into something on the screen because it sounds so great. It says verified couple, unverified rumours, and it's coming out in July 2023. From what I remember, it is about a black couple who are like the it couple, like really celebrated on like black Twitter for showcasing black love. So they're essentially influencers. And then a list comes out on Twitter which kind of exposes certain men for some problematic behaviour, and the man in the couple is on the list. And this basically flips their world completely upside down. They have an audience. I'm so fascinated by this kind of thing, and so I'm really looking forward to reading this book. Next, we have Friendaholic, which is by the wonderful Elizabeth Day. I met her at Hay Festival. She is just a joy. Her enthusiasm about life is just infectious, and this is the blurb. Friendaholic unpacks the significance and evolution of friendship, from ghosting and frenemies to social media and seismic life events. Sunday Times bestselling author Elizabeth Day asks why there isn't a language that can express the crucial influence of friendship on our world. I love this idea because I really believe so strongly that friendship is like the great love of your life, and this is Confessions of a Friendship Addict. I can relate to that. Next we have this one. This is Mrs. S by Kay Patrick. Listening to them talk about this book was so inspiring and got me really excited to read this book. It sounds really, really fascinating. None of the characters have names, they just have kind of like titles, so people will just be referred to as the girl or the teacher, that kind of thing. This is what it is to be wanted. Loving her will be impossible. There is nothing I can do to stop it. In an elite English boarding school where the girls kiss the marble statue of the famous dead author who used to walk the halls, a young Australian woman arrives to take up the antiquated role of matron. Within this landscape of immense privilege in which the girls can sense the slightest weakness in those around them, she finds herself unsure of her role, her accent, and her body. This is until she meets Mrs. S, the headmaster's wife, a woman who is her polar opposite. Assured, sophisticated, a paragon of femininity. Over the course of a long, restless heatwave, the matron finds herself irresistibly drawn ever closer into Mrs. S's world, and their unspoken desire blooms into an illicit affair of electric intensity. But as the summer begins to fade, both women know that a choice must be made. How great does that sound? That is Mrs. S by Kay Patrick. Definitely one to watch, this one. And then in this letter, I think we have a little postcard that says, "Dear Jack, we hope you love Mrs. S. Enjoy," from the 4th Estate team. Thanks, guys. Next, we have The Dog of the North. By the way, if you can hear Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift in the background, my mum is currently just jamming to that song downstairs, so hopefully this doesn't get copyright striked. Anyway, this next book is called The Dog of the North. It's by Elizabeth Mackenzie, who was previously shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction. You'll be surprised, delighted and grateful to be aboard The Dog of the North with the admirable Penny Rush as she faces every challenge her wild and crazy family can throw at her. A book that lifts the spirits. Hit the road with Penny Rush as the beloved author of The Portable Veblen returns with an absurdly funny and charming new novel about fresh starts, dysfunctional families, and finding purpose in life's wild curveballs. There we go, that is The Dog of the North. Even funnier, even more romantic than Mackenzie's previous book. Sounds great. I haven't read her other book, but the fact that this one is even better means maybe this is a great place to start. Next we have Patricia Field's Pat in the City. My life of fashion, style, and breaking all the rules. I think I know that she was the costume designer for Sex and the City. From the stylist who brought the iconic looks to mega TV shows and films such as Sex and the City and The Devil Wears Prada comes a playful yet intimate memoir of a life spent challenging conventions. I think this is going to be fascinating. It sounds like it's all about New York as well, and obviously I've been loving living in New York. I'm heading back there very soon, and so I think that this is going to get me all excited to go back. And then the final book that I have for you in this little book mail is How to Say Babylon, a Jamaican Memoir. Listening to the author Sophia Sinclair talk about this book was so illuminating, and it's the kind of thing where you hear them talk about the book and you're like, I want to read this immediately. I want to cancel all my plans and just sit down and consume this book. The more of this world I had discovered, the more I rejected the cage my father had built for me. I saw it finally. If I were to ever break free of this life, I had to run. But how would I ever find my way out? How would I know where to begin? Here in the same hills that had made my father, now sprung the seed of my own rebellion. This is a Jamaican memoir, and I think that if the writing is consistently like that, it is going to be phenomenal. So another one to watch for sure, and this comes out in August 2023. So that was my little book haul. Well, quite a big book haul, I guess. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you are excited to read one of these upcoming books as much as I am. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you again very, very soon. Bye bye!